Hello, everyone. It is time for your Divine Masculine reading. I hope you guys are having a great week. I have a deck here for you today. Let me grab the container here. This one is my Heaven and Earth Tarot deck. For those of you who like this deck and would like to potentially purchase it for yourself, there you go. I hope that right now you guys are enjoying your summer and that you're not experiencing any of that crazy, unpleasant, dark night of the soul energy. But I know that some of you are, and that's okay. You are either at the early stages of your awakening and have just started to go through some of this crazy runner chaser stuff with your Divine Masculine and you're confused as heck, or you've been in this journey for a while and you're wondering when in the world is that yucky, heavy energy going to go away. And for each one of you, that's different. It's not going to be the same for each one of you. Typically, it runs around 3 to 6 months for most people, but there's definitely a lingering energy that can go much longer than that, sometimes for even years. But that's not to discourage you, because really, truthfully, ultimately, it's kind of up to you. It has a lot to do with what you actually need. So Eckhart Tolle says that suffering is only necessary until it's no longer necessary, which means suffering kind of only exists in your life, especially on this journey, for as long as you need it to be there, which means that there's a lesson to be learned from it. Once the lesson that needs to be learned from it is learned, or the information that the universe is trying to teach you is experienced, then the transformation that needed to take place as a result happens and suffering ceases to exist, at least around that particular thing, that particular subject, whatever it is that you're going through, right? Like when you cut yourself, you experience pain in that cut until the wound is healed, right? So once the wound is healed, you don't experience the pain anymore. Emotional pain is no different. It's just when you experience emotional pain, there is a purpose and a reason. It's there to alert you to something. It's there to get you to look at it. If you get a cut on your hand, the body is programmed to experience pain because you're supposed to look at that and go, why is there pain? Is it something super severe that needs attention, or is it a little paper cut that you can just kind of say, oh, well, whatever, that, isn't that big of a deal, and kind of move on? It's an indication that something is off, something's not quite right, and it needs attention. So your emotional pain is the same thing, which is why I think sometimes, antidepressants and things like that can be a good thing, but sometimes they can just kind of numb the pain and you don't really fix the issue. And sometimes that can cause it to build over time. So pain serves a purpose and shouldn't be something that you automatically just push away from you, but instead, look at it and say, what is going on? How did this happen? Why am I here? What am I supposed to learn from this? So that you can actually heal the inner wound that needs to be healed and come back stronger, move on from it. So that's when the pain and the suffering of that will end. So the dark night of the soul that you're going through serves a very valid purpose in your spiritual journey. The divine knew exactly what it was doing when it created this whole twin flame experience for you. And it was, divinely orchestrated and tailor-made specifically for your needs as an individual. So if you ever want help with that or kind of guidance on that, that's of course what we're here to do. You know, that's just a small little snippet of a much larger image, of course, but you know, that's what we are here on this channel to do, is to try to get you, you know, help with that bigger picture. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into this reading. So at the bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Swords in reverse. Sorry, the writing is so small. So Ace of Swords in reverse, and let's also get you your numerology number for the day, which is 3 and 6. We also have 9, right? Because 3 and 6 make 9. You have 369, which is a beautiful synchronistic number. But you also have, you know, 36 or 63. So if that means anything to you, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so Ace of Swords in reverse being at the bottom of the deck is kind of the overall energy for the reading today, which means that there's some apologies that need to be made. There's something going on in your Divine Masculine's world that they feel that they need to recover from. They've made some mistakes. Maybe they've gone through some transformations as a result. They're seeing things from a different perspective now, and they're kind of wanting to go back and apologize to people in their life that maybe kind of took the brunt of some of their, you know, issues, or were maybe, you know, how they feel wrongly affected by some of these issues. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. For recent past here, we have, what is this? I can't even read it. Hold on a sec. So it's 5 of Wands, but I think the word right here is strife. I just couldn't tell what it was. So we have 5 of Wands here, and with this energy, you're looking at your Divine Masculine has definitely felt like they've had to have like a offensive stance in life. They've kind of come at things from this perspective of, I really need to kind of come out on top with this. There's a strong desire for success, and even though that strong desire for success is there, there's also a strong need for feeling like they've done it in a way that was right or fair. So they want to come out on top, they want to be successful, but they don't want to like hurt anyone in the process because it doesn't feel right for them. They don't want to, I guess, lower their value system or their standards in order to get there. They're not a sociopath, which is a really good thing. They do want to do what's right in order to get to those top upper levels of life and experience and status. But they definitely don't want to use anyone else as a stepping stone. So sometimes that can make it almost more difficult for us, at least from the world's perspective, because sometimes the world is like, you know, dog eat dog world, or, you know, only the strongest shall survive. And there can be a little selfishness that is taught from the world. You know, our friends and family members can even misguide us in this way. But spiritually speaking, this is the right attitude to have. And this is actually something that, even if at certain times it seems like it's not working, in the overall grand scheme of things, this is the right mentality to have through for law of attraction, and you know, not creating and generating a bunch of bad karma. So your Divine Masculine's mindset, at least from a core value perspective, is coming from a good place. In their karmic situation, we have 10 of Cups in reverse, and we have 9 of Swords upright. So the situation that they have been dealing with is a little bit difficult. It's kind of sad in some ways. There's been a lot of suffering that they've gone through. This may not necessarily be all stemming from the current relationship that they're in, but it's all of the karmic stuff that your divine masculine has gone through as an individual. You've got somebody who has probably gone through a divorce or is heading into a divorce, which is a painful place for them. And then you've also got somebody who really puts a lot of value on family and having a solid, stable life. So if they've built something up only to have it turn around and crumble around them, that can be something that can really throw your divine masculine off balance. And when we're knocked off balance, we can sometimes act in ways that are not necessarily our best qualities. You know, our best qualities can also surface as our worst qualities depending on the circumstances that they are being applied to. And this is part of learning balance and harmony and knowing ourselves. But your divine masculine is kind of in the thick of some of that. They've got a lot of sadness, depression, anxiety, and grief, remorse, just some very low energies that they are trying to navigate their way through and overcome. They don't want to hurt anyone in the process. They probably are taking more responsibility on for why things have fallen apart than maybe they should, because they didn't get themselves here by themselves. But they are responsible for some of it. And they're going to need to figure out which parts they should own and which parts they maybe need to put back on the plate of other people. They're probably, with this type of energy right here, they're probably taking on more of the responsibility than they should, which might be affecting their self-esteem. And it might, well, that's probably also resulting from maybe a poor self-esteem, or even maybe kind of a people pleaser or doormat kind of personality that they have. Balance definitely needs to be learned from this situation. And again, that this right here being coupled along with this energy tells me that your divine masculine, in their pursuit to never wrong anyone else, they may end up putting themselves the lowest on the totem pole, which can open them up to sometimes being used or taken advantage of by other people. And they may be going through some of that in their karmic situations where maybe they need to kind of put themselves first a little bit more. It's not in a selfish way, of course, but in a, I matter too. I also have, you know, value in all of this. So yeah, something pretty dark is going on in that way for your divine masculine. I bet on some levels, divine feminine, you've also experienced some of that kind of energy yourself, and you're seeing some of that reflected in your divine masculine. Now, toward you, we have the Magician and Death, both in reverse. So you've got, there's between the two of you, there's been a lot of back and forth, kind of scattered energy. You're not able to really rely on your divine masculine, and there is a lot of expectations that have been unfulfilled. You see so much potential in the relationship with you and your divine masculine, but that potential is being unrecognized right now because of all of this crazy energy that's really just keeping the two of you kind of in this almost repelled like state. That's probably very upsetting and discouraging for both of you, being that your intentions toward each other were the exact opposite. And so it feels very disharmonious. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's a word. And so that's going to create a lot of internal upset for both you and your divine masculine. There's a feeling of like hope absolutely being destroyed. Like, and that's not actually true, but it's a state of mind that needs to be overcome. If you think back on certain things with your divine masculine, you can probably pinpoint a turning point in your relationship where it kind of went from the bubble love phase and then things started kind of going like wrong. And then the more that you sought out validation from your divine masculine, the worse it seemed to get, which kind of spawned you or spurred you into the dark night of the soul and this like runner chaser thing. This is an inner energy being projected into the outer world, which is how it all works. I mean, this is the purpose of the twin flame dynamic, is to highlight this so that you can start to see that what's happening outside of you is a mirror of what's going on within you. It's to teach the as within, so without, core principle to the twin flames, especially within you, divine feminine, being that you are the receptive divine feminine twin flame. You're going to see this being very highlighted in your journey. And as you start to balance that out, you will start to see harmony taking place between you and your divine masculine. But that will never happen as long as you remain externally focused on your divine masculine. This is the thing that causes you to go into your spiritual awakening and having to let go of the divine masculine. Difficult to do, but you've got to make your journey come first and foremost. So this right here, we have the Tower right smack dab in the middle of your reading with your divine masculine. So we all know what this is. I have not had the Tower come up for a very long time in my readings, interestingly. Why? I don't know, but I haven't seen a Tower actually show up in probably a year and a half or more. So this is a big, big deal. Massive change going within everything that you built and wait, hold on, let me rephrase this. Everything your divine masculine built. Well, no, it's actually definitely both of you. Your whole entire lives are being reframed, reorganized, disassembled, and all the pieces on both of your chessboards are being moved around in a completely different way. And I saw some of that energy here, spoke about that here. So interestingly, now the Tower is coming up. So you guys are smack dab in the middle of massive transformations in both of your lives. I bet you are right in the middle of a lot of dark night of the soul energy, divine feminine, and so is your divine masculine. Sometimes we get our lives so off track, not purposefully, and not by coincidence. Because I don't believe in coincidences. I know everything is divinely orchestrated. So when our life seems off track, it's all happened for a divine purpose and reason. It's to teach lessons, to, create inner growth and change. But there's a lot of reasons. When you get further ahead in your life and you look back with 2020 vision, you see why everything happened the way that it happened. But while you're going through this transformation, it feels like utter chaos and like a breakdown. It creates a lot of fear. It rises a lot of that up to the top. But in order for these big changes to come in and take place, what was built prior needs to be changed. The old man needs to be let go of so that the new can come in. The old woman needs to be let go of so that the new can come in. And I don't mean old like in age. I mean former self, who you were, who your divine masculine was, the life that was built upon that old identity, old paradigm has to be transformed. But it has to happen inside first for it to happen outside. And you and your divine masculine meeting created massive inner transformation for both of you, which of course, with as within, so without, creates outer transformation. And you guys are right in the middle of seeing a lot of that happen. The interesting thing is when this starts to happen, we can start to cling on to old things in our life, like a buoy, trying to like not drown. But sometimes we just have to, that's where the letting go and surrendering comes in, and having faith. You got to let things go in order for the new to come in. And that means you have to have trust and faith that while everything's falling apart, that you believe that everything is going to, be rebuilt better. Okay. So we don't want to cling on to the past too much. You might see some of that clinging going on with your divine masculine, but just be patient with that, okay? Because they'll let go eventually. For your divine masculine's current karmic situation, we have 7, wait. Okay, hold on here. Okay, I got it right here. So we've got 7 of coins and 8 of wands, but they're both in reverse. So the energy surrounding the karmic situation in the present moment, because this is past, now we're here in present, what you might see happening in your divine masculine's current situation, like the way that their relationship or life situation has evolved to right now, this is going to have a lot to do with this tower moment. And we've got, I don't know if this is their energy or whoever they're with energy. You may be feeling some of this yourself, but they've got definitely a feeling of clinging on to something. Like, are they worrying that maybe they're giving up on something too soon, or they feel like their partner is giving up on them too soon? This is rising up from a lot of fear that they have somehow failed. But they haven't, okay? This transformation is divinely orchestrated. They haven't failed at anything. It was meant to happen the way that it has happened. They don't really know that or understand that, though, and so it's created a lot of frustration and a lot of problems. There is some delays, and maybe they are feeling like, oh my gosh, I just have to get away from all of this. The energy of where this is coming from, it could be within your divine masculine themselves. It could be something that's coming from a karmic partner. There's definitely a blurring and a blend of energy here that I feel is coming from maybe all parties involved on different levels. So there's trouble in paradise, right? Although it was never paradise, is leading to paradise. But your divine masculine needs to let these things go. There needs to be a surrendering that's taking place. And I definitely feel a little bit of clingy energy for fear of change. It's really just coming from fear of change. And that doesn't mean that the change won't happen. But on the other side of that, once the waters have kind of calmed, I think your divine masculine is going to say, okay, I actually feel much better now. But in the meantime, they are going to really struggle with some of these changes. And that may or may not affect you, divine feminine, in some negative ways. As you're witnessing and watching this, it might create and generate some fear within you, like, what is going on? Which is why we really can't look at what's happening in our divine masculine's life. We have to go within and trust source ourselves. We have to trust that higher version, that, we have to trust the soul. But that's sometimes easier said than done. So with you, divine feminine, we have the Lovers. We also have Two of Swords in reverse. So there is an interesting energy with these two cards coming up for you guys. So on the one hand, we have, a romantic partnership with a deep, deep connection, which we already know. Of course you do. You are twin flames. That kind of just goes along with the territory, right? That's that permanent bond that the two of you have. It's unbreakable because it's on a cosmic and divine level. The two of you are one. You are the ultimate, two aspects of oneself. Okay, a representation of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. That is the blueprint of the universe. And that goes deep, right? Because you have that within yourself. You have that on the twin flame level. You have that on, 3D, 5D, all the way up to the 12D level, right? You've got this masculine, feminine principle. You really should look into learning about that as far as how that affects everything in your life. And it'll help you to understand it on a twin flame level as well. But then you've also got Two of Swords, which is confusion, some indecision, and inability to kind of compromise two opposing forces. So this is showing me that there is balance and harmony that needs to take place within each twin individually. Outer union happens when, you're always in union with your twin flame. That can't be broken, right? You can't be out of union with yourself. You are already a whole and complete soul. But when people talk about union, they're oftentimes talking about, physical union with their twin flame. Physical union, of course, is a subjective perspective of what that means. And you'll have to look at that individually for yourself and find out what that means to you and balance that out. But external union doesn't take place until internal union has taken place. And so when we're talking about internal union, that is something different than what we're talking about with twin flames. We're talking about a balancing of your own energy. And there are some very deep spiritual concepts of alchemy and transformation that is pointing you toward. And the twin flames, meeting each other starts that whole process of transformation and ascendance and, learning and going back within to the center point and the truth of who you are, reuniting with the source, like the original God, right? This is a big deal, and it's hard. I can't explain it in a little tarot reading. This is what all the masters and the sages and the prophets and, the wise, enlightened ones have been pointing us toward. It's the pursuit of every man and woman, whether they're aware of it and conscious of it or not. It's life itself. And you guys are being kind of ushered into this cosmic, expansion of the soul. And so inner union is what will lead to outer union or physical union. You have to have spiritual, physical, and mental alchemy. You have to master that within the self to see that start to be like something that is mirrored back to you through this, mirrored universe. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. I know that's a lot of information. It sounds kind of like a riddle, but really once you start to learn and allow this process to take place, this transformation, the universe is going to show this to you. God is going to show this to you. It's going to come through inner union, or not through inner union, but through inner revelation, that will be confirmed through your experiences and through the synchronicities and the signs and stuff that the universe is sending to you. All that spiritual stuff that you're experiencing right now, it's not an accident. And no, you're not crazy. It's real, you guys. So we have going forward into the possible near future, because again, this is not set in stone. This is just if energy kind of remains as it is without you mastering over it, how things could happen. So you can reject this or you can accept it. All right? You are the creator, Divine Feminine. You are the creator. Justice in reverse. So there could be some inability to recognize things as they really are. There's some issues still here with seeing things with clarity. There might be some lower feelings and emotions and thought processes that still need to be looked at this point for your Divine Masculine and for you as well, Divine Feminine. So the transformation will continue on into the future. Especially if there are like some stubborn, if there's like a stubbornness of not going within, but instead staying externally focused and really chasing after your Divine Masculine. This is the kind of energy that you will expect if you continue to chase. And I know how hard that is to stop, but it's not thinking about them that's the problem. It's not feeling emotions about them that's the problem. It's the underlying perspective of value and importance. You must redirect your energy and your thoughts toward yourself and your own transformation instead of worrying about theirs. And that's not easy to do for us Divine Feminines because we are so focused on the Divine Masculine. It's very difficult to go through that process of making the journey about you and kind of showing up as your own, savior, so to speak, right? Like, I'll just say it. Showing up for yourself, making yourself your number one goal, making your journey and your happiness and your value and all of those things your number one is very difficult to do if we are focusing all of that energy and attention onto thinking we need to extract that from our Divine Masculine. The source of love that you experienced with your Divine Masculine didn't come from them. It came from within you. It can't be lost. It can't be taken away. It can only be misplaced by thinking it comes from something outside of you. That's a lack mentality. And the chasing energy that we have toward our Divine Masculine comes from a lack mentality. And so until we can get out of that and into an abundance mentality, which is personal and inner growth, we will stay externally focused and missing the mark, okay? Missing the bullseye. All right, so we have, interesting, this card came up. So we've got Two of Cups and Five of Pentacles, but the Two of Cups is in reverse. So when you have this energy of Two of Cups in reverse, there is definitely a breakup and a separation taking place for your Divine Masculine. Not with you, but with some type of a karmic partner. The love has been severed. It's that karmic relationship has served its purpose and it's coming to an end. And that is making your Divine Masculine start to look at what their options are, and how they can kind of work this to their advantage. Not in a, I want to, like, screw someone over way, because that's not who they are. But in a, okay, how can I, if this is the way that it's going to be, they're getting to a place of acceptance of that, right? So this is a really good thing, that this is a very positive indication that transformation and growth has taken place within your divine masculine, and a better, healthier perspective is rising up in them. I have no doubt this is happening because of you shifting your directing your energy onto yourself, divine feminine, and embracing that which the twin flame, experience kind of forces you into, because you suffer until you don't. Remember, we talked about suffering until it's no longer necessary. You are stepping into a place now where the suffering is starting to cease at this point. Dark night of the soul energy is starting to kind of wane and dissipate, because you are embracing and you're embracing it because it's being revealed and it's like, oh, like what seemed so difficult is suddenly starting to seem so simple to you. And it's because your mind is being opened up to that divine truth, which makes a chaotic world suddenly seem very simple and easy. And that's when we start to reach a lot of inner peace and happiness, that samadhi, that nirvana. But it's, again, as within, so without. And you start to see those transformations taking place in your outer world. You start to really understand the law of assumption, the law of attraction, these different universal laws. And you start to see how you and your energy affects the outer world, so you can change it. You are starting to become the master, the sorcerer, the higher power. You're recognizing that you are that creator, the source of all. And that is enlightenment and ascension. That is the gift, the promise for every man and woman when they go through that process. It's in the cards for all of us at some point in time, but it's divinely appointed. It's divinely given. And a lot of that has to do with us just saying yes to it. Because our separation from Source isn't because Source cast us out. It's because we felt unworthy. We went into a place of lack mentality. We fell from grace because we didn't believe ourselves worthy of it. And we stay there until we remember who we are. And this is your process of remembering. So here we have Seven of Swords and the Star in reverse. So with the Star in reverse, there is still going to be some feelings of sadness or hurt that are going to need to be looked at. But with Seven of Swords energy in there with this, I see that there is a clarity that's coming in about what thoughts you've been giving your attention to and what your, let's see, how do I word this? Sometimes we betray ourselves by believing in things that don't serve us for our highest good. And we can lie to ourselves, and we can tell ourselves things that are not true and not real, because we believe things that, like, we believe thought forms and frequencies that aren't really true reflections of who we are. But if we buy into it, we accept it, and then it's reflected back to us, which creates suffering and discord until we can overcome that and transmute that into something else. And so what I see happening here is you and your divine masculine are going to start seeing all the different ways that you've lied to yourselves. And then corrections are going to be made. You're going to be stepping into the higher selves. which is actually who you really are. It's letting the mask go, right? It's letting it's like suddenly realizing you're not the avatar. You're not the thoughts. You're not the emotions. You have thoughts and you have emotions, but you are not them. And only until we realize that, we will be run by them. Like we will be mastered over by the avatar, mastered over by the mind, mastered over by the emotions. Until we recognize we're not those things, then we will master over them. We master over the mind. We master over the emotions. And that's really stepping into your power. Like, remember in the movie The Matrix, that's exactly what happened to Neo, right? He was governed by the Matrix until he realized that he had power over all of it. How did he have power over all of that? Because he was that the entire time. He got out of the story and became like the programmer. You know, he created the story. He created how it was going to show up. Then the Matrix had no power over him. So that's you like waking up. You are stepping out of the illusion and back into like the truth of who you are. And your divine masculine is doing the same. You're becoming lucid in the dream. When you become lucid in the dream, what do? You control the dream. So that is what I see. And that's, couldn't have a better ending, right? And it is your soul's journey. It's what you're here for. It's what you came here for. You know? It's what you came here for. And it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful story. You are the hero in your journey. Look into the hero's journey. You are the hero in your journey. You are stronger and more powerful than you ever thought. You thought you were just a mere human, but you are so much more than that. You are a beautiful living soul having a human experience. Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Let's check out this card here and see what it says. No one ever said life was going to be easy. Obstacles are presented to you so that you may overcome them. Believe that you will. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. We talked about this all the way throughout. Both you and your divine masculine have this inner thing to overcome. And all you have to do, divine feminine, is do it yourself. You don't have to worry about whether they're doing it, because they'll do it because you're doing it. You just do it. You just worry about you, focus on you, believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, your divine masculine will too. It's like a reverse mirror. If you don't believe in yourself, they don't believe in themselves, and it creates all kinds of chaos and problems. If you're facing toward them, they're facing away from you. If you face toward yourself, they face toward you. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Confidence comes to those who have succeeded in conquering adversity, and then the next hurdle won't seem as daunting. Adversity is an opportunity for you to reach out to your soul family. You are not alone in this time of challenge. If you need help, others are waiting to offer assistance. This test may have come to you in your life to teach you to receive rather than to give. Divine feminine. You are the receptive divine feminine. If you don't allow the transformation and allow your divine masculine to come to you and allow yourself to be receptive to source, to God, to this connection, then you're in chasing energy. You're in pursuit of it. The beauty of being the divine feminine is that everything will come to you if you just allow it and recognize that you are the source of it. Neville Goddard, James Allen, two authors that I suggest you go and listen to. Go listen to As a Man Thinketh. It's like 2 hours long on YouTube. It's short, easy reading. Just listen to it in the background. It'll change the way you think. Okay? Same with Neville Goddard and Florence Scovel Shinn and, Manly P. Hall. There are so many great ones out there. If you're interested in knowing more, I can definitely help you. Please check into our group memberships. You get to talk to us several times a week, and we teach about a lot of great things and give you a lot of resources. Also, Thursdays, we do have lives that you can attend if you have questions. I'd be happy to help you there. And then also, we have one-on-ones and personal tarot readings if you're interested in those. You can see and find all that information in the description box below. Again, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out with the algorithm. We want to reach as many people as we can, so your support is extraordinarily treasured by us. And I will see you all in a couple of days for the next reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments. Take care. Bye-bye.